Yo, we're here with Jason.
Just one with Gallantmon, the best deck in the format. I think anyone who disagrees with that,
Wrong.
it kind of doesn't really play much competitive. Look at the competitive scene. It's an absolutely fucking insane deck right now.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Show us your cracked list.
Okay, so let's start it off. You play the draw GG egg. I think you can play the DP boost one to pop higher as well. Draw's kind of a little better in my opinion. I'm just a fan of it. You really want to find your pieces, especially for when you don't find everything. You can go into like a Growl X, do a check, get a draw, play out a Guilmon, get some more draws. I think it's just better for consistency. I'm not the biggest fan of the pop always on a lot of your cards. I kind of want to just like get the value and like kill my opponent, right? Yeah. That's more what I care about. Play the Rush Guilmon. He's really good. He's a one-of. He's great. Just play him to play him.
Yep.
Play the Warp Guilmon, again, one of, not really the main ones you want to see, but just kind of to round out the deck. The main Guilmon you want to see is the Searcher plus Memory Gain on Delete, plus set up your Trash Guy, who's kind of insane. Very good card, nothing too complicated, but very good to go into like a Gil X and then swing, or go into Growl X, and then you swing and you can gain some memory back. Like you get a bit of refund and play him again to then find your pieces. Like he just helps you get through your deck quick. He's a great one to play out. Not as good as the Gil X a lot of the time as a Searcher when you play him out, but again, really good card, great inheritable that just makes the deck incredibly memory efficient, right? This guy finds everything you need, even your X-Antibodies. Insane Searcher for the deck, insane you can go on top of that, insane you can play this like turn one, and then you have one of these, you just evo it on the board, and now your opponent has an immense problem because you're going up and you're having a big stack already. Starter deck Gallantmon, the inheritable, and so you can evo him in the back. That's pretty much like the only reason you play him.
Yep.
The busted card of Growl X to just play more Guilmons to loop through, to find more pieces, so that even when you make your Gallant X stack, they somehow kill you because they're passing turn to get rid of you. Then you go, I play a new Guilmon and I build an entirely new stack, even if I had nothing in the back. And if I had something in the back, then I can, or if I had nothing, I can then set up and then build off this, or I just don't have to use my stack in the back and I can just sit there and force you to have to keep dealing with Gallant X's every turn.
True.
Great card, great inheritable. One of this Gallantmon, the new one, I think you can play the older one that pops 4K and then gives you DP if it doesn't pop and then increases your pop size. I like this one because it sets up the trash a little bit more. It's not really that big of a difference. Like sometimes this guy comes up with a +1 memory when you go into a Growl X, like when you make a stack only, you don't have your pieces, so you're just crashing in to try to die, or hope, or if you don't die, then just pop off next turn.
Yeah.
But you kind of can do whatever with it. I just like him to set the trash a bit better for the Gallantmons. Stupid card. This guy pops the 4K. You pretty much never want to do the Evo for one less. Even if you're not popping anything, you don't really care. You're just going into it. Inheritable is insane. Insanely efficient card. Like part of what makes the deck crazy, where it's like you punish your opponent if they don't play on board, and then all the others punish your opponent for playing on board. And ideally, you punish your opponent for playing on board by going into this guy and gaining back all this memory by putting a 4K, and then you attack, and then you gain back your memory as well with it, and you just punish your opponent for everything, right? And they just have a bad time.
He's very good.
Very good. Even more broken card now, the War Growl X. The protection helps, the DP helps, the 10k pop is great, but honestly, the big part of this card is just the security +1 with a deck that can unsuspend, and that really shouldn't. The fact you can do 4 checks with that is just insanity, right? Like the security +1 is you're just insane in this deck. Two of the BT17 Gallant pretty much will replace these with the BT23 ones that are coming out. You can go down to 1. I like 2. They are kind of nice to come up sometimes, especially to warp into and then go into something else you do need to find them. And it's pretty much your only like generic Gallant. That's just like a Gallant that doesn't have any drawbacks when you go into it, or you might not want to. The immunity does come up sometimes, especially if you go into attack and then you're going into Gallant X to get the memory back from this guy, and then you're going into Gallant X on top to get the unsuspend and stuff. Sometimes you just don't have the 4 to go into Gallant X, and you just can't really do it. Gallant X. Only a 3-of, because honestly, if you resolve 2 of them, you've pretty much won the game, and you just kind of want to see it. You can play it at 4, but I think at 4 you see it a bit too much. Insane card, insane with the unsuspend, especially with the War Growl X if you build the perfect stack. Ideally, you kind of want your back row to be this guy, then you push out and go into Gil X. Having to go into Gil X in the back is also fine if you need pieces, and then you go to Growl X in the back, and then you'll push out, go into Growlmon, ideally with some boosts, some trainings. The more you have on board, the more you can wait. Then you go, ideally want them to play something, then you play the War Growl X, and you go into this, then you'll either X-Antibody, attack, unsuspend, gain back to memory, or you'll pop and you'll just have enough to hard into it, or you'll go into this one, and then you'll attack and gain the memory, and then go into it. Is pretty much your main combo. It's a pretty simple deck to play. It's just about finding the pieces and not making mistakes, but we still have more cards to go. Medieval Gallant, because sometimes it's nice to have another Gallant to go into. You can't go into Gallant X on top of him because it has to be Gallantmon specifically, not Gallantmon in name. If you don't want to play Medieval Gallant, don't have one for whatever reason, just play a third of the BT17 Gallantmon, in my opinion, which makes it a bit more flexible. Medieval Gallant, you don't that often go into, and a lot of time he just goes into trash. There are some matchups where you want him so you can clear board, so you can clap back, so you can just create board pressure. But he's a very optional card in this deck, in my opinion. Promo Gallant, insane card. This card should something needs to be done about this card, especially when you pair it with the BT13 Gallant. These two together are just stupidity, just pure stupid. The fact that you can go into your Gallant X and then you just play this guy, pop it, and get like an extra extension, especially if you've done 4 checks with him, and the trash, like that's just game right there.
Yep.
If they clear your board and you just go, I go Gallant, pop something, swing, who cares if you don't even pop, play this guy to pop him, swing again, you're going crazy, especially with Omni X.
Yep.
The next card. Works with all of them. This does the 5 checks on it, and you can, on your last swing, go into Omni X for end of turn attack again, like you just win. It OTKs. You can do this on turn 2, just seeing your pieces, your opponent, like you Evo in the back, you play like a boost, your opponent gives you like 2 or 3, and they play something on board, like by playing something on board, like you leave them at 2, they training and drop a level 3 searcher, and you go, great, I'm OTKing if you see the pieces right now, which is just stupid, pure absurdity. After that, probably the most controversial card you'll see in this deck is I run 1 Tocado. I like this guy pretty much for a few reasons. It's another card you can play during the early turns to just if your opponent doesn't want to play on board, because the deck does have a problem where if your opponent refuses to play on board, and is just setting up, it can be expensive to climb, and when you have to actually pay the price for your evolutions, which normally you don't. So this guy just gives you the attack when you Evo, so you can do some bullshit combos. Notably is when you go into Gallant X, which like has a Gallant or X-Antibody underneath, you can Evo, do the DP, then activate this one, attack, then activate the other one, then you get the one attacking, then you activate this one to unsuspend if they have nothing on board, so then you get to trash and unsuspend and then do your checks, and then if you keep turn with the level 5 War Growl giving you memory back, you just attack again and you just go into Omni X and you win the game. Important when less specific deck problem, more if your opponent is a player who will always leave you at 1 and who will understand the matchup and very much play into not giving you the memory refunds. He becomes very useful. Slightly more useful against decks like Rocks as well, where they have protection from deletion, and you can kind of put yourself in a bad situation if they just leave you at 1 and you need to find enough, because they'll just OTK you first, right? He can just win you the game all the time if you see him, but he's not like a super important card. He's mostly replacing Crimson Mode Ace, because I didn't really like Crimson Mode Ace. I never found I needed the extra security trash to win a game, so he's in there instead of that. If you don't like him, put a Crimson Mode Ace in. 3 cool boys. Playing the poor mode cool boys because I don't have my other ones that are in black or grey. Insane card in this deck. It's an X-Antibody deck. It finds you something of every level. It gives you resources. It's another searcher.
Card good.
Card good. 1 proto form. Sometimes this is better than the regular X-Antibody, which I run 2 of, so we've got a 3 mix. one of the best uses is going from Gallantmon into Gallant X for free to keep turn, or going into from Wargrowl to Wargrowl X is normally when you get a protoform. Sometimes it does come up when you go and you don't have your Growlmon and you protoform into a Growl X, but very rarely does that happen. Mostly it's here and just to help smooth out your memory, because a lot of times you want to go to exactly 0, or you want to go to a certain threshold for your immunity, or you want to make sure you're at 2 while you're doing this, and that way you get to it helps adjust your memory how you want to, so you can manipulate it to exactly where you want it to. These are obviously ridiculous if you have this stack and then you go, oh, I attack, go into Gallant X instead. Gallant X when digivolving, gain the DP, neg them, pop something. Oh, they have nothing. I unsuspend, trash the security, do 2 checks, end of attack, gain 2 memory, very often keep turn, and then just do it again for 2 more. That's 5. Omni X, I win the game.
Yep.
Yeah. It's half a combo deck, half a board control-y deck. 1 Scramble, I think you could easily play 2. Scramble's very good, mostly you go into the 5s with this. A lot of time your opponent will just be 1 short, and you just go into Wargrowl, pop something, gain back 1,000,000 memory. And if you don't, it's when it's very important. Scramble good, lets you play out another Guilmon to just push up again, like to build a new stack from. Just good card. It's Scramble.
You play Rush Guilmon, man.
Yeah. 3 boosts. You can play 4. I'm playing 4 trainings, so it's 10 searches in total, 4, 3, and then the 3 combos is 10. That's at least how I count it. I think you can do any ratio, but I do find myself in the mid game often wanting to trash these. You see a bit too many, and you see enough in the early game that, in my opinion, you've got enough search. But you can go up to 4. You can cut something easily for that. Medieval Gallant's one thing to cut, or something else to cut if you'd like to go the 4 boosts. Yeah, that is the deck. I think I already went over the combo while I was going over the deck.
Yep.
It's pretty much an OTK deck, but you can also kind of play board control by going into Gallant X, clearing a lot of their board, and then just doing some checks, and then being like an immune guy who, if they kill, you play out a Guilmon on the turn, so you can build again, and you kind of just keep going, and eventually, like, either you grind them out or you just OTK them if you saw enough. The deck really can OTK on turn 2. The deck only got pushed out of the meta by Royal Knight and Sakuya being very strong, because they both had fairly decent matchups against it. With both of them getting hit, Gallant is just the best deck by far, in my opinion now.
Agreed. Gallant best deck.